goal is to graduate. Graduating from high school gives you options. Graduating from college gives you more options. And so at this time, I'd like to have Dr. Brown Graham, Dr. Duncan, Ms. Cole to come up because they planted a financial seed for some of our students. There are 5 students who are sitting in this audience today who are going to be recognized, and they're being recognized for the hard work that Mr. St. Hilaire talked about. They're being recognized for having the highest scores on an EOC exam. That's what they're being recognized for, their academics. We know about football, we've heard that story, but guess what? I don't know, what's the roster on the football team, Mr. Cincinnati? Of the 60 students that's on the football team, only 1 of the 60 might go to the pros, if that one. But as a college student with a degree, and if you're focused, and if you have that drive and that hard work, guess what? You can be a doctor, a medical doctor, like them. You can make that money in the house that Mr. St. Hilaire talked about. They have it. They invited our students, Mr. Javante Blackman was there, had an opportunity to go last summer to the, not the Medical Science Symposium, but the luncheon, the scholarship benefit luncheon, and to go into that country club and to see how some people are living. It blows your mind. But they're living that way because of the hard work that they're doing. And so at this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Brown Graham, Dr. Duncan, Ms. Cole to come up on behalf of the T. Leroy Jefferson Foundation. And we're going to award 5 scholarships to students. 4 of them are $250 scholarships that the students will get today. One of them is a $1,000 scholarship that the student is going to get $500 of the dollars, I think, today. But at any rate, we're going to start off with the first. Do you want to say something before? Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
This is, nothing is planned about my speech, and I'm Dr. Brown Graham, and this is our executive administrator, or I'll call this is Dr. Duncan. And we've been coming here for 5 years to encourage academic excellence, and that's actually part of why I wanted to just speak about that. I wanted to let you know that I was over there cheering because I was so inspired. So I really want you guys to actually spread the word because that was just a very amazing speech from someone who was in this. Now, I wasn't in this auditorium. I was born and raised in Jamaica for most of my life, but the truth of the matter is I came here, and I understand that whole attitude of working hard and the academic excellence. So there is 60 people, and only maybe, I don't even know if one's going to make it pro. The truth is we depend so much on athleticism and say that's our way out of Belgrade. I don't even want you to have a way out of Belgrade. I want you to have a way to come back and give back. So the truth of the matter is it's so important to know that you actually are all that you're here and you can do this because we all can do it. The other thing that I really was inspired by was your mentorship because I really have a lot of things to do. I had 2 kids myself, I'm married, I have this huge practice, but to me, your philosophy of mentorship is amazing because you don't even just inspire yourself, you're giving back to everyone. And I think the 3 of us also try to embody that. Whenever you think about what you're gonna do, make sure that you mentor someone and you pull them back with you. Wherever you're going, you're like, you know what, I'm heading to the top. I'm gonna reach back and take a few more people with me. So I really wanna commend you, not on your speech, but on your life, because I think that you have really given back to everyone and that whole thing about what you plant in the ground in Belgrade is going to actually grow. It's going to grow, but it needs some stuff. And the stuff that it needs is right here in these 4 walls. It needs fertilizer, it needs sunlight, it needs water. And that's actually what school is. School is all those things. So if you can always say, well, I'm in Belgrade, I'm going to grow, but you're not going to grow if you don't have the right stuff. So remember to use these 4 academic years to make a huge difference because you can actually sit in class and learn nothing. And that to me, as someone who came to this country, I never understood why people didn't take advantage of everything there was to take advantage of because you have free education. So you should be sitting here going, what can you teach me? What can you teach me? I need to learn more. So, I mean, thank you again because you inspired me. Thank you.
And so, this first scholarship recipient, in the words of her teachers, "This student is a true student who loves learning more than any student they know. A leader in her class and shows it every day by coming to class beyond prepared, with new facts to contribute in interesting ways to spark intrigue during class discussions. Consistent in her work ethic and strives to perform in an excellent manner, this student has completed the previous 3 grading periods with earning a letter grade of A and having the highest average in class. Not the average, silent, and withdrawn scholar, but a boisterous, energetic one. Her participation in ACE General Paper and the Glade Central Book Club makes other students perk up, and her insights and interpretations of texts never fail to be novel. She is the quintessential lover of knowledge. If the knowledge or answer the teacher provides isn't thorough enough, which goes back to what Dr. Brown Graham is saying, or if it is inaccurate, teachers make mistakes too. She is the one who provides a subtle correction. She remembers facts easily, and she has no qualms sharing them. Perhaps this is one of the reasons why her peers respectfully call her the historian. Ladies and gentlemen, with the highest score on the Algebra 1 EOC in all grade levels, this year's recipient of the T. Leroy Jefferson Scholarship is Jacynthia Nonor.
We might have to keep her money. Just kidding. It's $250 for excellence. That's amazing. So
Yes. Okay. In the words, this next person, in the words of her teachers, this student is a highly disciplined student who works quietly and perseveres through even difficult questions. It is rewarding to listen to the student explain the steps and reasoning in solving real-life world problems within their small group. The student completes all of her assignments and is clear in explaining her steps. On her Algebra 2 honors test, she is successful in solving even the difficult questions. The student is highly involved in extracurricular activities, but she makes up her work in a timely manner on returning to school. She is frequently the top scorer on a chapter test or a cumulative test. After finishing an assessment this week, she told her teacher that she felt pretty good about a test that she was sure she scored 100 on. And she did. She had no errors naming chemical compounds. So you know this student is in chemistry. The teacher said that she has only had 1 or 2 students in her 4 years of experience teaching in college that scored 100 on the naming compound test. This student, and she's not a college student, she's a 10th grade student. This student's humility and candor set her apart from her peers. She always walks into class with a smile, and her positive demeanor is always welcomed by all. Her effort in class is consistent and will ultimately lead to her success. Ladies and gentlemen, with the highest score on the Geometry EOC in all grade levels, this year's recipient of the T. Leroy Jefferson Scholarship, Ms. Jaquanda Robinson. Congratulations.
congratulations. Are you a future doctor?
Lawyer, she says. Okay. This student, make sure I have this right. Okay. This student is in the words of the teachers, she is very quiet in class, but presents information very well when asked. Writing is one of her best attributes. She is, and I know Mr. St. Hilaire talked about that. She is very level-headed and has developed good critical thinking skills. Other students will ask her to proofread their writing because she has strong grammar and English skills. She is the vanguard of the Latin American history course. Her work ethics are unmatched and serve as a role model for other students to emulate. Her consistency in all aspects is representative of what teachers identify as an unbellished student. Ladies and gentlemen, with the highest score on the FCAT reading in all grade levels, this year's recipient of the T. Leroy Jefferson Scholarship is Miss Jennifer Love Lopez.
too.
Okay. In the words of her teachers, another female, come on guys, Mrs. Sandler talked about this, we gotta step it up. All right, in the words of her teachers, this student, okay, I'm sorry. Yes.
That was $500.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Let's give another round of applause. Awesome. Okay. This student is a lovely person, very dedicated, and an excellent writer. She is conscientious, motivated, polite, respectful, and well thought of by her peers and teachers. She has the highest average grades of the class for the past 3 terms in chemistry. This student's hard work and attitude in class made most students want to be her lab partner because whenever her peers did not understand that day's lesson, she was able to work with them and teach them the way she understood it. She is excellent. She's a good critical thinker. She's a hard worker. This student recently completed industry certification in Adobe Photoshop, and as the teacher said, she's just a great student. Ladies and gentlemen, with the highest score on the biology EOC in all grade levels, this year recipient of the T. Leroy Jefferson Foundation Scholarship is Alan Roa.
So we have a physician who is a anesthesiologist, just like Dr. Duncan. They put people to sleep, not really, but you know what I mean. Not that they're boring.
Bring them back.
Yeah. And he actually heard about what we were doing, because this is really to encourage excellence academically for all of you all. And he said, I want to give the money to someone who is like me. And he said, you know, he didn't call me Dr. Brown, he said Colette. You know, I wasn't a great student in high school. I really didn't study as hard, and it really took me a few to get started. And I just want to make sure that people know that you can start off slow and still become a physician. And I know where he lives, and he really does do well. And I'm not going to be obnoxious about him. I won't tell you what I make, but I know he makes way over $400,000 a year. So the truth of the matter is that that's real money. Yes, and that's the kind of money we're talking about. You may make that in pro football for one season. No, you make way more. But the truth is, he makes that 400, the 400, the 400, the 400, year after year after year. So the truth of the matter is that he's here in spirit, and his words really resonated with me, because he wanted to give it to someone who really took the time to work and didn't start off strong, but ended very strong, and is going to continue in that vein.
And so, in the words of his teachers, and it is a gentleman, yay! This student is very diligent, he's respectful, and a pleasure to have in class. He has a very strong work ethic and a desire to learn and gain a full understanding for each topic. He is a very good presenter and is very good at persuading other students to understand his point of view. He is quiet in class, but is confident in his abilities and knowledge. He has strong critical thinking skills. This student is extremely respectful, empathetic, motivating, dependable, and an independent self-starter. He is a student that teachers can rely on to always do the right thing, regardless of the situation, and that's very important. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Dr. Rockman Scholarship in the amount of $1,000 is our current Mr. Glade Central, Mr. Javante Blackman.
Keep it up.
So congratulations again, thank you. Dr. Duncan would like to say something.
Well, I think this fine gentleman said, you know, he stole my show, because all the points that he had really are are so true. It's really only through education, and especially this time that you guys have right now, to get all of that knowledge, to stick it in your brain, and the more knowledge, the more skills that you have, the more valuable you are, and that's going to end up, it's going to how much you're going to get paid in the end. So you guys really need to think about, you know, that education, and you can all do fantastic things as we've seen in the past. And we look forward to, in the coming years, continued mentorship up here with you guys in your medical academies. We're going to participate in the thing over here in the gymnasium, as well as I hope some of you all come to the country club with us in the future years and hang out in the eastern part of the communities, because we have a great time over there. And you can interact with all the doctors and dentists and pharmacists that have put the time in and paid their dues so they can live a good life and travel to China and Argentina and Abu Dhabi, you know, like the rest of us. So you got to work hard to play hard, okay? So this is your time to work hard, guys.
Thank you. Yes, let's give another round of applause. So, for those, thank you, Dr. Duncan, and also thank you, Dr. Brown Graham, who's my doctor, and also thank you, Ms. Cole. So, on behalf of them, on behalf of Mr. St. Hilaire, on behalf of Ms. Canty, I hope that you learned something today. I hope that you're able to take away something. Even if you weren't the student who received the scholarship, I hope that you took away, if nothing else, that hard work pays. You have to put the time in. It's up to you. You have to determine, just like Dr. Brown Graham said, and Mr. St. Hilaire said, you know, we know that Belgrade is rich for its soil, but you have to, once you put those seeds in, you got to water it, you got to put sun on it, you got to do all of that work. You can't just go into a classroom and think, oh, I'm entitled to something. You got to put in the work also, and you can have just as much success as they've had if you work for it. So to those scholarship recipients, congratulations. We need to see you once you're done so we can get a group picture. And then Ms. Canty has something that she wants to say, but I definitely want Mr. St. Hilaire to come back and speak to the entire student body, because I think that they need to hear that we have former Glade Central graduates who are doing great things, and just like they're doing it, you guys can do it too. And football is not the only way, not necessarily out, but that's not the only way that you can give back to your community. You can give back in other ways as well. So thank you.